The new Mini Cooper S has a great deal to live up to. The first two generations were proper Evo hero cars. So where does this latest one fit in? We're going to try it on the road and on the track to find out. In 5-door guise, the new Cooper S cost £19,255, £600 more than the 3-door. It shares that car's 2-litre 4-cylinder turbo engine, which is good for 189 horsepower and 221 foot-pounds of torque. The front-wheel drive Cooper S hits 60 miles an hour in 6.9 seconds and tops out at 144 miles per hour. So on to the important stuff, the stuff that matters. Ride, and we're in the default damper setting. And yes, there's a bit of stiffness to the ride quality, but overall there is pliancy, there is fluidity. It's a comfortable ride for something that when you start pushing harder, does handle really well. So handling, well, all the old qualities are still there. We've still got an agile, darty front end, we've still got rock solid body control, and we've still got an agile rear end. It's very, very responsive to gentle lifts off the throttle mid-corner. It makes it an adjustable, engaging car to drive. It's still a great deal of fun. The moment you turn this car into a corner, you can feel it leaning on its rear axle just as hard as it's leaning on the front axle. It's got balance. It's a properly sorted thing. What I'm less keen on is the steering. We're now electrically assisted rather than hydraulically. And although the system is precise, it's accurate, it's pretty well weighted, it's just never as feelsome as that old rack. It's a shame. It's a layer of interaction removed, and that's not progress. And as we know, we've got the sport mode, the maximum go-kart feel mode. So like most of these systems, it sharpens up the throttle response, it tightens the dampers, and it gives us weightier steering. Now, what I like about the mode is that you can decouple the throttle from the chassis settings, so it means we can have the more supple chassis with the sharper throttle response. And that's perfect for this road. We don't want to firm the car up anymore. This is the 6-speed manual car. As ever, the gear shift is precise, it's accurate, yeah, it's a joy. So the engine's up to 2 litres from 1.6, still turbocharged, and we still have plenty of performance, there's no doubting that. But somehow this new unit isn't quite as satisfying as the old one. It's responsive, we've got good low-down torque, but it doesn't have the exciting top end of the old car. It's just not as fun in that sense. So the Cooper S goes well on the road. Let's see how it performs on Bedford Autodrome's West Circuit. So we're on track with the Mini Cooper S. These BMW generation Minis have always been pretty exciting on track. They've always been proper little fighters. And this one's no exception, actually. This is the 5-door, so we've got the longer wheelbase, but it's still a mobile thing. It still likes to move around and slide, particularly on the way into corners. And that, I have to say, just makes it a whole load of fun. But it's not just about massive lift-off oversteer slides. That mobility at the rear axle gives it an agility. It keeps the front end pinned onto its line, and it just means that the car feels really, really nicely balanced on circuit, whereas many road cars just feel like they're battling understeer all the way around a circuit. This thing, it feels properly cut out for this kind of work because you're not just fighting that front end push all the time, and that just makes it much, much more satisfying, much better suited to track work than many, many other quick road cars. It does mean as well that you can have enormous amounts of fun just bunging it into corners off throttle and allowing the thing just to take up attitude just like that. Yeah, it's much, much more fun on circuit than you might imagine it is just by looking at the thing. I have to say, the brakes are standing up really well to the abuse they're getting here. We're several laps into this run and there's no sign of them fading, no sign of them overheating. And the pedal feel is good when you stand on them hard. You can feel just about where the ABS is going to cut in. The gear shift, we've got a lovely, sharp, precisely defined gate. So it's easy to navigate around. You never find yourself missing gears or selecting the wrong gear. Yeah, Yeah, it's a joy to use this gearbox on track. Yeah, this thing's got a good front axle. It darts towards the apex on turning on the brakes, and it really does fire into the apex. On the road, that can feel a bit artificial, it can feel a bit jumpy, but on the track, yeah, it's spot on. For the way it drives on track, the amount of fun that I'm having here, I can almost forgive it that rear end styling. Almost. You just know it was built by people who enjoy their driving. They really didn't need to build this level of agility and of oversteer into the chassis, but they did because it makes it that much more exciting. It really does make it good fun on circuit. Yeah, all credit to the Mini engineers for the work they've done on this thing as a track car. It's not an out-and-out track car, we know that, but it really does perform well on the track.
On road and track, all is well with the Cooper S. A couple of minor criticisms aside, notably the slightly numb steering and the more muted power delivery of the new 2-litre engine, this new model is just as much fun as the previous versions. Our real issues with the Cooper S relate to the styling, particularly the awkward proportions of this 5-door model, and the all-too-kitsch interior details. If you can forgive the Mini Cooper S those points, however, it remains one of the best hot hatches on the market.